So, a dominant narrative before the results were announced was the prominence of Congress leaders, regional Congress leaders, strong faces like Ashok Gehlot, Kamal Nath and Bhupesh Singh Baghel, who in some ways were seen as setting the party's narrative in the states. They were seen as people completely in control of these states, of the campaigns of the party in these states. They projected as countering not just the BJP's welfare, but also its Hindutva. But these leaders have failed to strike a chord with voters, and each one of them has faced a rift in his own state, challenged by one of their own, be it Sachin Pilot in Rajasthan or Jyotiraditya Scindia against Kamal Nath in Madhya Pradesh or T.S. Singhdev in Chhattisgarh. What does the election results mean for these leaders and for their political future? That is something we wanted to discuss tonight. Mr. Kidwai, every time we spoke about Kamal Nath, we spoke about resourcefulness, we spoke about Chhindwara, we spoke about his development. But then clearly, also his control over the organization. But clearly there seems also with Mr. Baghel, we did speak about a lot of things, including his, Hindutva plank and of course governance and welfare. But clearly the party was sort of over-dependent on these regional leaders, isn't it?
Absolutely. I think, Vasudha, there were 3 states, 3 different personalities. And of course, the result was equally disastrous for the Congress. But I think the Congress over-reliance, was on this Bhupesh Baghel, on Kamal Nath and on Ashok Gehlot. Of course, with Ashok Gehlot, there was trust deficit. So a lot of things tell you that how the Congress High Command was functioning from the day one. They had a plan B in place that, if they don't do well, they'll put a blame on these regional satraps. Regional satraps were also not not taking everyone along in their respective states, and they were factional leaders within their respective states. And I think that is something that has cost the Congress very dearly. And the lack of kind of modern tools, data science, cephalologist working, having a kind of 24/7 aggression. Most leaders in the Congress in these 3 states, wherever I traveled, I noticed that they were looking at it that Janta jitayegi. People. The election in Madhya Pradesh, for instance, was people versus the BJP. That was not to be. The BJP was also, in my assessment, and I have no hesitation in saying it, at one time BJP was very weak, and BJP brought so many central ministers and Lok Sabha MPs, etc., and turn around. The Congress used to do this exactly the same thing in Madhya Pradesh. They had very regional satraps, Shukla brothers, Arjun Singh, Madhya Sidhya, Motilal Vora, several things, undivided Madhya Pradesh. And what used to work and click for the Congress, that they would work for 30, 40 in the areas of 30, 40, 50 seats and make Congress win. And that's how Congress kept shining in Madhya Pradesh. But right. This time around, if you look at, the entire body language of Mr. Kamal Nath, there were 1,200 schemes. You can't even, in a public meeting, you can't even talk about those 1,200 public, public guarantees that you were offering. So I think there are a lot of lessons to be learned. And very quick point about accountability. I mean, the Congress has a very rich culture, and Vasudha, for the paucity of time, I would not just go on narrating that all those losers, they become AICC general secretaries.
Right.
And Mr. Ashok Gehlot is a very glaring example. This culture must end. Right. I mean, if you have failed and faltered, if you're not able to win a state, you have to sit out for some time. So
you're saying that the party needs to start taking risks when it comes to appointment of its leaders or functionaries. You're saying that the party has to start taking some sort of risks and cannot be really comfortable all the time. Is that what you're saying, sir?
Absolutely. So there should be, accountability, and accountability also in terms of exemplary accountability, in the sense that, people get punished. You look at Rajasthan. See, this was the election where the Congress could have won. Of course, Rahul Gandhi made a huge mistake in appointing, I would say, Ashok Gehlot in the first place in 2018, and Father Mr. Kamal Nath had young faces like Scindia and
right.
Sachin Pilot were there. Perhaps the story would have been different. But there was no attempt to make a course correction. Just very small and quick point, Vasudha, on the 25th of September 2022, when Ashok Gehlot showed defiance, I remember asking Mr. Kharge about this thing, and Kharge said, we have an option either to let this government fall, Rajasthan government fall now, or, continue for another year.
Right.
But look, this continuation was meaningless.
Right. So there is some sort of conviction that the party needs, even when it makes its internal decisions. That's a very important point, sir, and I'm sure the Congress must be hearing this. Thank you so much, Mr. Kidwai, for joining us on this debate. Time for a short break. More news and updates on the other side.